Hey guys, Prof Chip on here. Sorry, just had to check while I was recording. I just recorded this, and unfortunately, it didn't start recording, despite me clicking my hotkey. So I'm just gonna have to run through this very, very quickly because it is quite late at night, and I do have to get to bed at some point. Okay, this is my week 5 match against Foxxyicecubes of the Winnipeg Weaviles. He's 2-2 coming into this, sort of decent mixed record. So a couple of close battles. His team, I'll put in a annotation next to it, but it's Mega Venusaur and all his friends. And yeah, let's hop right into my team. Start off with Mega Aggron, T-Wave, Raw, Stealth Rock, and Heavy Slam. Heavy Slam hits a lot of his team, apart from it hits a lot of the team with neutral damage. There's a few things which it doesn't. I have quite reliable switch outs into. T-Wave is nice to spread paralysis. Raw is there because I really want to be able to whittle down the Staraptor and the Rotom Heat. I don't remember the EVs, I'm afraid. Breaking before 4 here. This is actually being recorded about 2 weeks after the actual battle. Battle was done quite early, so that Zach could go on holiday. But I can't remember my exact defensive investment, but it was enough to be able to take 2 Adamant Choice Banded Brave Birds from the Staraptor. Here, next we have Dr. Office Mesprit with Life Orb. Again, the EVs here, I'm not sure if 100% right. I think I had a bit less Spatak and maybe a bit of speed. I can't remember what to outrun, but with Calm and Psychic, Dazzling Gleam eligible. Psychic is for Stab and the Tentacruel and the Tentacruel, and this is one of my prime checks to make a Venusaur. Dazzling Gleam is for the Latios and the Scrafty, which is the obvious switch into this thing. And Energy Ball is to take on McQuark in case he brings that. Even if he's unaware, Energy Ball will absolutely nail him. So yeah, this thing basically can take a hit, set up a Calm Mind, and it does a huge amount of damage with the +1 on the Life Orb. Here we have Hedgeman 21, Choice Scarf. Speed investment is so that I outspeed the fastest mon in this team, which is Latios, with Flare Blitz, Wild Charge, Head Smash, and Superpower. The reason I'm bringing this is regular 121, really slow against the team. It's not sort of non-scarf. It's very liable to being revenged, and whereas this, it can still do a reasonable amount of wall breaking and potentially catch stuff like the Staraptor or the Rotom Heat before they can switch out or what have you. It still does a big chunk of damage. I mean, it's 3/4/5 attack even without boosting nature, plus reckless on Flare Blitz, Wild Charge, and Head Smash. So on Stab or Super. So it hits like a truck, outspeeds everything on his team, can potentially clean up late game depending on what he's got left. Here we have Phantom Limb, which is, apart from Dr. Office, my other big way of dealing with Mega Venusaur. Can't really switch in. Can take a hit. I have Sludge Wave, Hurricane, Knockoff, and Rain Dance. Rain Dance is in case I get a chance to set one up, just so I don't have to rely on Hurricane hitting. Sludge Wave is to hit the Azumarill and the Rotom Heat. No, I think there's a reason in Calc's Sludge Wave basically secured an OHKO on non-AV variants, I think, or Azumarill after some bulk. I think it basically meant that he couldn't belly drum up in my face, which was quite a nice thing to have him not be able to do. Knockoff was instead of Heat Wave for the Bronzong, and just because of general utility, it'll hurt the Latios if it comes in on me. I don't see why it would come, but it's nice to be able to remove items and sort of general stuff. I think this coverage is pretty good for his team. Next we have Hunter Gatherers by Manaphy. I'm running Modest this week, 252, 252, Tailglow, Dazzling Gleam, Scald, Psychic again, just stab and then coverage for 2 moves. Considered running Ice Beam over Dazzling Gleam, but Dazzling Gleam is nice for 4 times effect on the Scrafty, and yeah, I think it's just that, and what Dazzling Gleam for the Latios obviously Reason wanting 299 speed is because that outspeeds the max speed Rotom Heat, and special attack is max just so that it's doing a bit more damage, particularly at +3 psychic. Mega Venusaur will really struggle to take, considering running like a what was it, safety goggles on the Manaphy, but I was hoping recovery would be nice, especially because he's not guaranteed to bring a Sleep Powder. Mega Venusaur. Here we have the Mighty Monarch with a defensive spread, slightly mixed. The Spadef is so that it can kind of take on the Rotom Heat or any other like a Sludge Bomb from the Mega Venusaur, although Mega Venusaur basically walls this. Defensive investment is so that I have something apart from this which can switch in to the Staraptor. And also Roost and Defog. Obviously, Roost for longevity. Defog is there so that I can keep rocks off my side of the field, which is nice, particularly because it means that this is going to get worn down really quickly, and that's one of my big basically these three are my win cons that I can use to basically trade them on, and these two are my walls really. Quite an offensive build this week. We'll have to see how it see how it goes. Yeah, Heatwave is there. It's another thing it's something which can hit the Bronzong, and also it does a considerable amount more than Thunderbolt, even with the thick that to make a Venusaur, which otherwise would wall it pretty effectively. We're going to step right into replay, and start off. I lead off with my Mega Aggron. Mega Evolve, get up rocks. He leads off as Azumarill. I've got Raw, so I'm not really afraid of him belly drumming in my face. And he will pulse. He reveals that he's a trapping set. I'm not too worried by this. Perish Trap, I have Raw. T-Wave off just because T-Wave is T-Wave really. And I know that I can roar him out and then still switch out. From these golds, doesn't get a burn, and I'm on 53%. I probably shouldn't have let myself get quite as whittled as that. This may come into play later on. Here, Venusaur, and I just click T-Wave again. I really wanted to paralyse that just because it makes it a lot easier for me to deal with. Obviously, here I have to switch, and I go out into my Mesprit. He makes it, obviously expecting me to switch, makes a good play, so Toxics. That's getting residual damage from my Mesprit. Here I expect him to go out into Scarfly, but rather than just Dazzling Gleaming, I get up a Calm Mind, expecting to be able to absolutely destroy basically whatever comes in, and basically pick up a kill or two here. And he reveals a Roselli Belly, which is really unfortunate because that stops me from pulling off a mini sweep and being able to really choke for a total team. He cleverly switches back out into his Mega Venusaur. I didn't really want to risk that. I just wanted to get a kill. And my Mesprit goes down to Toxic. Not the best of starts from me, but a few of his mons are weakened and his paralysis. Here we get Phantom Limb, that scares him out. I knock off, expecting him to either go into a Rotom Heat or the expecting to go into a Rotom Heat because that resists Hurricane. He goes out into the Scarfly, just Sludge Wave finishes him, then he goes out into Rotom Heat. I switch out into my Henchman 21, and he reveals that he's fairly offensive, I believe, or he's offensive with Life Orb, and goes out into his thing. Sorry, he goes out into his Staraptor. I stay in, click Wild Charge, and he clicks U-turn, predicting me not to be Scarf and me to switch out. I didn't predict him to be Scarf. I expected him to bring Band. I understand why Scarf brought Scarf, but I probably should have thought that he was Scarf, seeing as the Rotom Heat wasn't. But he clicks U-turn, and I click Wild Charge. Here I live this play. Flare Blitz would have killed the Staraptor from that range, so I should have locked myself into Flare Blitz, and because then I could have stayed in and 2-hit KO'd Shaniqua, whereas now I just have to switch it. I don't have to, but I decide to switch it, my Phantom Limb, expecting him to Sympathy up. Whereas he sludge bombs, makes a very good offensive play, and I get poisoned. And basically, my Phantom Limbs only got one life orb hitting it left, so I switch it out just to sort of get it in range. I probably should have just hurricaned and got rid of this thing. He roars. I roar him out, and by this point he's revealed his set. He doesn't have Synthesis, which is annoying because I was expecting him to have that, and I would have probably played if I known he hadn't. I would have made some more offensive plays. But here goes out to his kamikaze. Well, he gets roared out into it. Double Edge takes me out, and I go out into my Zapdos, which is most defensive one. It's the only other thing which can handle it, and I click Heat Wave here because I could 2-hit KO the Mega Venusaur and assumed that he was probably just going to sack it. Goes out into his Zoomrill, and I just click Thunderbolt twice. Goes for a Whirlpool. Try and get a bit of chip damage off on me. It's not the end of the world. Gets full paralyzed on a protect, but it's slightly unfortunate for him, but it just means I'm at a slightly higher range than I would be. It's not the end of the world. He goes out into his Rotom, and I just click Roost, expecting him to Volt Switch out, or Overheat, just to stay healthy. I didn't have any speed investment, so I kind of expected him, because he was Life Orb, to be faster than me. He reveals there that he isn't, which is quite nice for me to know later, because it means that I think everything left on my team outspeeds. Here he goes out into the Venusaur. I didn't really want to get Toxic or get old Leech Seed, whatever, so I go into Edge from 21 and lock myself into Flare Blitz. Didn't want to risk for Head Smash here because it was only a roll. In retrospect, I probably should, because it dealt with the remainder of his team a lot better than that. But go into there, and here I should have Smelt Rat. There's no reason for him to go. Well, I could have potentially Smelt Rat because he could have gone out quite safely into a Staraptor because he knows that he's faster than me and just U-turned to kill or got off some damage. I assume he didn't go out to that because he didn't want to give me a free switch into my and you assume he didn't want to get whittled down at all and give me a free switch into my Zapdos. Here he goes on to that. I just locked myself into Flare Blitz, not expecting him to do what he does next, and he Dragon Dances, which I did not prepare for because I have a Mega Aggron, and I thought, no, there's no way he's going to bring Dragon Dance. I've got a Mega Aggron, and yeah, that happens. Now here I go into my Hunter Gatherers and click Dazzling Gleam. That does 47%. He's on 48 now, and here I have to do a bit of a 50-50. Basically, Dazzling Gleam to kill from here is a roll for me. Trusting Showdown, obviously. He can't OHKO me with any move, so basically, if he Roost stalls, he might be able to get into a range where he can guaranteed take a Dazzling Gleam. But basically, I know that he has some kind of HP or Spadef from a damage roll because I'm modest, so 47. It should be doing more than that if he had no investment. So I know he's got some kind of investment. So therefore he can't OHKO me, therefore he may be able to restore me. I'm worried about this. I really don't want to miss the roll because I think he's got quite a lot of investment based off the fact that I did 47. And he just so basically here I think, well, if I toggle up on his Roost, I basically win the game, and he just decides that his better player is attacking, and I've basically lost some mana fee and basically thrown away the game there. It was a 50-50. I probably got it wrong in retrospect. Particularly, I'll go through some calcs later and show why. Here he locks himself into Outrage, which gives me a slight sliver of a chance of getting back in, either through a T-Bolt power or a 2-turn Outrage into Confusion, whereas he could have set up a bit more on Dragon Clawed or just Dragon Clawed. Outrage takes out my Phantom Limb. I go there hoping for 2-turn Outrage and the Confusion, allowing me to Roost up and win the game. Doesn't happen. It was, I think, a 25% chance when he clicked Outrage. So, a bit frustrating, but anyway. So, as you'll notice, I talked to Foxxy after the game, found out that he had 80 HP in his Latios, meaning that Dazzling Gleam was 46.1 to 51.8%, meaning that 47 was a lower roll, and that's kind of annoying, because had I got a higher roll, I probably wouldn't have thought that he had a lot of as much def or HP investment as he had, and I probably would have risked the roll, and I probably would have won the game from there. It's annoying, it's particularly had I brought Ice Beam, like I was considering, it would have done exactly the same thing, because I would be doing over half, and I just would have clicked Ice Beam twice. But you live and learn from stuff like this. Even if I'd locked myself in a head smash, something like that might have made a difference. And I did let a few things get a bit more whittled down earlier on than we did, but it's not. It was quite a close match despite the 3-0. Unfortunate for me, from my point of view. Didn't play as well as I should have. Should need to bounce back next week against Frontier Zero of the Indiana Infernape. He's been going quite well. He's got a very, very scary sand drill plus a triple regenerate core. But yeah, well played to Foxy. Looking back at it, I really understand why he brought the Perish Trap. Perish Trap Gazu is literally for my Mega Aggron, because once that's removed, I don't have a Fairy Resist on my team, apart from the Mega Aggron, and Dragonlance Latios, as it did, can put in a lot of work. So that's it for my week 5 match. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you next week for week 6 of the GPL.